And now it's time for a Q&A from you, the viewers. And our first question comes in from Jeff Jones in response to the video we just did on moving and synchronizing playlists between many different streaming services. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this because he raises a good point. What's the value in having a full-time synchronization service for playlists? And clearly it's something that I think is a very particular need, and that service that we looked at in that video looked to be rather expensive, $36 a year to keep all of your playlists in sync. One area, though, where I could see some value to doing synchronization, not necessarily a monetary value, but a value nonetheless, is when it comes to voice services and how they interact with all these different music services. So, for example, I use Google Home a lot here in my house because I have one of those Google Homes with the display up in my kitchen, and I'm regularly talking to it for kitchen timers and other things that I'm trying to get information on. I really like Google's Assistant. It works very well for me. And if you go into the app to configure it for music services, you are fairly limited. You have YouTube Music, Google Play Music, Pandora, Deezer, and Spotify. Now, as you all know, I'm also a person that uses the Amazon A word from time to time. And so on Amazon, you can use, of course, Amazon's music services, but they also allow you to link up other services. But unfortunately, that linkage is not all that nice. So for example, if I just want the A word to play music on Amazon, I just ask it to play an artist's name. But in order to get it to work with other music services, I have to use additional instructions here. Play it on Apple Music or play it on Tidal. It's not as seamless as just saying, hey, play that playlist of the great hair bands from the 80s for me. I have to remember which service I want it to play back on. So it's not a huge inconvenience on the Amazon A word, but there is still an extra step to involve those other services. It will play back music, of course, from Amazon with a simple request of a title or a playlist, and here you've got to tell it what service to use also. And of course, you've got Apple's Siri, which is a total mess. Look what you have to do just to get Spotify to work with a voice command on the iPhone. It's crazy. You got to install scripts, you got to use Siri shortcuts and everything else, and it gets to be a lot of work to get all that stuff translated. Now for me, I have Apple Music on my iPhone, and I also have YouTube Music through my YouTube Premium subscription. And then I maintain a free Spotify account where I've got a bunch of playlists that I talked about in the video that we did last week. So I really found some value in getting some of those playlists moved around so that I can ask for the same thing on all my different voice assistants and get the music to play. And that's certainly a lot easier than having to build those myself. And maybe there is some value for syncing, but $36 a year for the service that we talked about in the video, it's just a little bit too much for me, especially since they only let you sync 10 playlists at a time.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters, the Four Guys with Quarters podcast, Tom Albrecht, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.